Hello, Stampers. It is Candy from SweetStamper.com here today with your weekly Tuesday at 2. It is that time already. I'm actually thinking about putting in a second Facebook Live, so if anybody wants to vote and tell me if you would like another afternoon or if you would prefer an evening session, I would definitely love to hear some feedback. So I am going to give it just a couple of minutes here to see who's going to join me. Hey, Terry Lynn, it's good to see you here. Hope you are having a good day. It's been busy here, and I confess that I have really wanted to just veg out, and I'm not a big TV show person, but I've wanted to just kind of binge watch, which is not like me at all, but I think it's kind of some of the effects of all that we've been walking through, and just wanting to kind of, I guess, nest or kind of tuck in and do something really comforting instead of just taking care of everybody. So that has been something that's been going on for me, and I'd love to hear how things are up in St. Louis. Terry Lynn, tell me how you are. It's good to see you here today. Hey, Adriana, how are you? How are you? Is it getting near the end of the school year for you? I would think. I know that here, Northeast Independent School District and one other district here is talking about opening up in the fall. Hey, Gail, it's good to see you. And there's questions about whether they will be able to do that. I know I was talking to my grandkids on the phone because I can't see them right now. And they were talking about, they're homeschooled, but they're part of a big co-op in Bernie, and there's questions as to whether they will open up in the fall. I know the kids are really anxious to get back to school. I think they've all, well, not all, for the most part, I think the kids have really kind of done well, all things considered, with all of the changes in their world. And they typically have a lot of routines in place for young children, you know, when school starts, when school's out, their chores, their homework, and all of that's been very disrupted. So I think that all the kids I'm aware of, they have really done extremely well with their world being turned upside down. And but I think they really would love to be able to go back to school in the fall. And I think all of us would love to. My kids are all grown and got kids of their own, but I know that all the young ones would be really happy to get back into school. And like I said, for most of them, they've done really well. Hey, Barb, I'm glad you're here. Most of them have done really well with the Zoom classes, and there's certain things they're liking about it, but not being with their friends is one of the biggest challenges. And I guess some of the kids I know of that are having a bigger challenge than others are only children, because they don't have those siblings to be playing with right now, just their parents. And sometimes parents are really tied up with their own work. So, but I was talking to Olivia, my oldest grandchild. My internet kind of blinked out for a second. I said, "You're really sick of playing with your brother and sister, ready to see your friends?" She said, "Yes, Grandma, I love my brother and sister, but I'm ready to see my friends." So I think that I think some of us big girls are feeling the same way. So. Shannon, I'm glad you're here. And Terry Lynn, yeah, you went to Walgreens just because. I understand. It's like we feel like, you know, we're getting out. One of my friends that lives up in Virginia, she said that now she understands why in Little House on the Prairie, the kids were so excited when they go into town for the day. It's because, yeah, you kind of have that feeling like you're in Little House on the Prairie, and it's like, hey, let's go into town. Let's go fill up the car. Actually, we don't even need to fill up the car. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here. But yeah, let's just go out for a ride. We have, hey Diana, I'm glad you're here. We actually, our church, we've opened the last two Sundays, and we have plenty of room for social distancing, and people are welcome to come or not. We have people in our congregation who are wanting to gather, people who don't feel comfortable to do that yet, people who are wearing masks to church, some who are not, and I think as we go into the next phase of this whole pandemic, I think that's what we're going to see is different people responding differently. And I think that as we just offer grace to people, hi Marlene, and let them kind of transition in the way that they feel is best for them, that it will go a long way towards helping all of us. Yeah, we've been doing church online as well, Diana, but like I said, we just started back, and our governor has given us the permission to do that, and so we're totally within the guidelines. And you know, when the building had been closed, our building was totally closed for 7 weeks. There's no coronavirus in there. And so yeah, we can wipe things down after a meeting, and some people are shaking hands, some people are not. But again, it's just kind of up to people. So hi Jackie, I'm glad you're here. Okay, we're gonna get to do some stamping today, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip camera down and show you what we're gonna do. I've got a little show and tell. I'm kind of on the whole tropical theme right now, and so Terry Lynn, you're maintaining your weight. Yeah, but it's shifting, I understand. We've been working really hard on our health goals during this whole sheltering in place. I've got a little technique for you today, and lots of show and tell. So let me go ahead and flip camera down, and let's get to stamping. Okay. Work surface doesn't look too bad. I got a little bit of a shadow down here. Not sure what that's about. Lighting is a continual challenge. Oh, I know. I'm supposed to turn this one off. I think that ends up doing better. So yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start with showing you some things. I actually sent out my email news this morning only to discover after the fact that my YouTube video that I had worked so hard on putting together, my link didn't work, so I've got to resend that link later. But yeah, I'm kind of on this whole tropical thing, and I'll tell you 2 reasons. One is I'm in love with this paper, and it's only going to be around for another about 2 weeks, and then it's gone. And I just find that tropical images are very calming. All of this foliage, all of those flowers, they're very calming and very soothing. And I remember my husband's actually from South Florida, so he grew up with all of this. And the first time we took my son-in-law to Florida, he is from Iran originally, and he'd never seen this kind of lush tropical environment, and he was just in awe. It was like, oh my gosh, because it does. There's a reason that people vacation in Hawaii and Florida. It's not just the beaches. Reasons that people vacation in the tropics, it's not just the beaches, it's all of this that just brings calm and peace to us. So let me show you my class, and then I'll show you some other samples, because this beautiful, the paper to me is the star. This is 2 different cards I created using the exact same supplies. Let me move this so we don't get distracted. And I did a little inside here as well. And what do you think about these little tassels? See how they just perfectly coordinate with this? These leaves have a little background. Hey, darling, I'm glad you're here. It's like a really pale petal pink background on these. So I picked that up here and then just carried that flower to the inside. And then this is the one. Yeah, I love the whole suite as well, Kathy. This is the one I did with the plumerias. I actually lived in Hawaii as a child. I love these plumeria flowers. The scent is amazing. And this is what we used to make leis. We had these growing in our backyard. We used to make homemade leis with these. So the stamps are they're really, really lovely. I think this is aptly named Timeless Tropical. So I brought in the best dressed tassels, and I brought in this linen ribbon from the Magnolia. I will tell you that the ribbon that comes with this to me is just a little bit too bulky. I don't typically like to work with really bulky ribbons, so I like this one instead. So this is part of the Magnolia ribbon, is you get this twine with it as well. And so this is exactly the same card. All I did was I changed out the designer papers. So these are just super fun. The pineapple, these are just die cuts. And you see how these have a little bit of texture on them? So these kind of raise a little bit. Really fun. Let me show you while I'm on that one. Let me show you, I have a couple of other samples. So this is one I was designing that didn't make the cut for my class. And then I have another one to show you that I got in a swap and I think is really cool. Well, here's one this one I got in a swap, and then there's another one in my little basket here. I love the way this lady did this. She actually cut the pineapple out of the designer paper, and look at all that variegation. And she did the same thing with the flower. And then there's that ribbon that I'm not keen on. I like the way she kind of fluffed it out. So these are the pineapple cards. These are the ones that you actually make in my class. So these are the ones that made the cut, just a simple little hello on those. And then these two, I changed the orientation and I changed the designer paper. Hey, I'm glad you finally made it, Sue. We're glad that you finally came. And here's again, there's that plumeria stamp, and I just stamped directly on the greeting. So you can see how I think, linen is something you wear in the tropics a lot because it's cool, and I think it just goes really well with these papers. And so that's my birthday card. And then I had to do one of my tri-panels. I love this paper. My husband is a huge Hawaiian shirt aficionado. I showed him this card. I showed him all up and said, what's your favorite? And I knew it was going to be this one. He's honestly has had shirts that look really similar to this. Now, this card, I ended up going with this is Pool Party. And this one, hey Daniel, this one I did on soft seafoam. So I really just kind of did a tone on tone here. This one gives a little bit of a contrast and picks up the blue of the car. I don't know what you guys think, which one you like best, if you like the Pool Party or the soft seafoam. And this one, I didn't put any ribbon. I mean, super simple. This is just stamp, ink, and paper with, designer paper. This one, I did add a little bit of ribbon and a little bit of the twine. But yeah, I'm in love with the paper. I think the paper is just gorgeous. This, I did the same exact card here with the kind of quiet patterns from one of the B sides of the paper that has all these flamingos. And again, I just think they're really scrumptious. Let me show you. So this is my actual class. Let me show you a couple of more cards that I got from swaps, and then we're going to make one, and we're going to use a technique. So I'm going to show you this. Shannon is actually on here today, and I absolutely love this swap that she sent me. This is a beautiful little tag that you could also use as, I think this would make a lovely bookmark. Look at that. This is one of our retiring stamp sets, Grateful. There's your definition. Isn't that a lovely little thing to give someone? So this is some of the dies that you get, these little leaf dies. And then you see how she paired it with the paper, and you can see both sides. And then she used the embossing folder, which sadly is on the retiring list. Now the stamps and the dies are not on the retiring list, so the paper and the embossing folder are. And then see, she tied it in with the same things I did. And that is, hey Donna, I'm glad you're here. She tied it in as well, Donna, great minds thinking alike, with this magnolia ribbon. And this is actually on sale right now. I think it's about half price. So this linen ribbon and then this mossy meadow twine, I think is a great deal right now. So I thought I wanted to show you that super cute little gift to give someone. This is one of the swaps that I received. Really showcases the paper. And then this is another swap that I received that I think is really lovely that shows, this again is some of the little die cuts that are part of this bundle. And then that little flower inside there is another die cut, and then layering on some of the papers. And then there's that lovely, lovely embossing folder. Yeah, Kathy, this is really, I'm thinking about featuring this on my blog. Seriously, it's just, this is not my creation at all. One of my very talented downline team members that did that. So hooray to Shannon. You're on here today watching. We're shouting out to you on the amazing creation of this little tag that I think would make a great bookmark as well because it's fairly flat. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to do. I've got some paper here, and I've got my tassels. I've kind of got some elements of what I've been working with, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I had one of the things I was playing with when I was designing this class and didn't actually make the cut is this palm tree, and you stamp it and then you punch it out. But I wanted to show you kind of a cool technique with this, and I think we're going to build this card, and then also I'm going to show you the technique that's actually called thumping. It's an old technique, been around a long time. And I was just kind of, again, these were just papers I had left over. I had this shape left over, and I think I might do something with this. I don't know if it's too much of the same thing. Maybe that'll be just too much. I don't know. We'll see where we go with that. But what I'm going to do is, I think we're going to start with this. And see the back side of this, which I love these flowers. But look there, you've got just this calm pool party with this really nice, almost like a soft brocade pattern here. And I think I'm going to grab the A side of this and put a little bit of it there. Hey, Yolanda, I'm glad you're here. And then I think we're going to put some palm trees up here. So let's work on the palm trees, and I'll show you what I mean about the thumping technique. Now, we're going to actually put ink directly on our rubber stamps, and this works best definitely with a cling mount stamp and not so much with your, you can do it on your photopolymers, but it works best with this. And you know, you can't actually use your Stampin' Blends on your red rubber stamps. So you have to use your regular markers, and these are water-based markers, and I'm just going to paint the, let me bring you down just a little bit here, a little bit closer. I'm going to kind of paint the stamp, and I'm using the side of my marker because I don't want to use that tip and blunt it. So that is going to create the color on my trees. I'm using soft suede, a nice kind of medium brown. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to take my palm fronds and I'm going to paint them all. This is Pear Pizzazz, which is the lighter counterpart to Old Olive, so it's kind of a lighter olive green, and I'm going to totally paint my trees with them, or my palm fronds. Now, that would be pretty in and of itself in the sense that I would have, you know, a two-colored image. I'd have the brown for my trunk and the green for my palm fronds. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with this darker green, and this is actually Mossy Meadow. And this is where you have what's called thumping. And I'm just going to tap this. It's really more tapping to me than thumping. And I'm just tapping all across here and leaving little bits of ink. Now, what you can do is once you finish that, if you find that you feel you can no longer see your ink glistening, then you can just hold it up to your breath and huff on it and then stamp. And what's going to happen is instead of having just one shade of green, can you see how I now have various shades of green on there? And that just gives my trees a lot more character than if I were to just do them in the solid. Now, we're going to do one more of these because we're going to cut out 2 sets of these trees. And one of the things I have found with thumping, and you can do this with more than 2 colors, you can do it like with lots of different colors. What I have found works best is if you start with a base color that's fairly light. And again, this is called the thumping technique. And that's one of the reasons I chose to go with Pear Pizzazz rather than Old Olive, because when you put Old Olive is already pretty dark, and so when you put a darker color on there, there's so little contrast that you really can't see the difference. When you have a lighter color that you start with, then when you add your darker color, you're going to have a lot more contrast, and that's really what you're wanting. You're wanting the variegated effect, or not so much even variegated as just having several shades, and you can kind of see how the darker color is showing up on there, and that's what I'm wanting. I need to have that darker color coming through, and you can kind of see how much you're getting to know whether you should keep going or not. So if this were like a flower, I could maybe put several different colors. It's a tree, so I'm just going to put a couple of different shades of green, and then I'm going to huff on it, and I'm just breathing on it. Susie, I'm glad that you are embracing learning something new. Me too. So you can kind of see in these two versions, you see how I got more of the dark on this one than I did on this one. And you can see how much character that gives. And this is just, with your markers. But this is why you need Stampin' Write markers. Some people think, well, I just need the blends. They do two different things. So when you want to put ink directly on your stamp, you need to be able to have your Stampin' Write markers. So that gives me a really nice look. So what I'm going to do, let me kind of clear my decks here a little bit. I got a lot of cards here lined up. I think I can bring my Big Shot right over here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, live TV, folks. This is what we do on live TV. I don't die cut very often on live TV because my table shakes and all of that, but it's a new day. We're trying lots of new things today. So this technique is, like I said, it just gives you a lot of variation on your stamped images. Allows you to bring in different depths of color, and so that you don't just have one color, but you have lots of different shades. And because I use two different greens on this, that's exactly what it is. I've just really got two different shades of green going. So let me bring this through without knocking the camera. I think I can do it without knocking you out completely. Yay, we did it. And let me just show you how you have these nice little palm tree cutouts. Aren't they cute? And let's do one more set. Here's my other set right here. So I will line them up and run them through as well. I know that many of you guys are beginning to get your new Stampin' Up! Catalogs, and we do have a new die cutting machine in that catalog that's not ready quite yet. It's just not here yet. It's ready, it's just not here. A lot of manufacturing is a little behind because of this whole pandemic we've been walking through. So, patience is the order of the day right now. That's what we all have to do, is be patient with each other and to be also patient with our manufacturing. Diane, these are just our regular, these are just our regular cutting plates that we still have available. Although, maybe they're on the retiring list as well. I think they might be on the retiring list as well. Hey, Mary, I'm glad you're here, and Yvonne's joined us. So these are just the regular cutting plates is what I'm using here. So just the regular old Big Shot cutting plate. I am using a, what do we call this? This is I can't think of the name, what do you call the one that intricate dies? There's a name for this plate. Darlene will come up with it. There's a name for this plate. We actually retired it, I think, last year. Ooh, I kind of messed up on that. Well, I think we're going to go with it anyway. I think once we put it on our card, nobody will notice that I shifted a little bit. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Precision plate, thank you. precision plate. Now the 3D plate, Diana, you're asking about the 3D plate. The 3D plate is actually just for embossing. So this is a cutting plate that I'm using right here. And I think the ones that kind of didn't cut out all that well, I think I'm going to kind of put them behind. Let's see what I need to do here. Maybe I need to go this way. Let's see. I need a little opinion here coming through. What are we thinking about our trees? Do I just need one set of trees, or should I use both? Thinking I probably need both. More trees is better. And then I was going to put a little piece of white across there for a greeting, but I think I'm going to need a little bit of color there. So let's see. Do we want a little bit of linen ribbon? I think that's kind of a nice touch. So let's add a little linen ribbon. Now I could bring in this piece here. Do we like this? And this? Do we like that? I need opinions. Or do we like it directly on the blue? I think I like it better directly on the blue. And I think I need to just have them side by side. And then a greeting that's going to go right across there. Oh, I kind of like that position. What do y'all think? Ribbon or no ribbon? Tell me what you think, honestly. Y'all are great designers when we work on this together. I like the results. I think I'm liking this so far, and then I'm going to need a little piece of cardstock across there to put my greeting. I think I'm just going to put this little hello. Tell me what you're thinking. I'm waiting for some opinions. I know most of us will have opinions about these. Okay, ribbon, yes. Oval, but maybe darker ribbon if I go with the oval. Okay, everybody's liking the ribbon, so I will go with the ribbon, and I think I'm going to go with that for my greeting, although not quite that big. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay, let's find a snail. Where? Donde está mi snail? Here we go. I got it. Got one of my helpers here today. Elaine is helping me in my studio today. I'm very grateful for her being here. I know that that's one of the things that some folks have not been able to have somebody come in and help them, and I've been very blessed to have help even throughout this time. Hey, Deanna, I'm glad you're here watching us. I think I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals after I get the ribbon in place. So let's put the ribbon down next. And I think, you know, this is, I mean, just isn't that gorgeous? Isn't it just gorgeous? But you see, my trees get kind of lost. So definitely if I were going to do this, I would probably go like this and then like this. And that's kind of a cool, that's like another whole card. That's really pretty. So I don't know, folks. That's kind of changed things. See what I mean? I just think there's a ton of things you can do with this paper, and it all looks pretty. So you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, Deanna, I'm glad you love the color. This is where we were starting. But now I think that we're going to go in another direction. So let's just see if one's very soft and the other one is a little bit darker. So let's just see if, let me grab another piece of designer paper. And, you know, there's not a bad piece in this lot. The ribbon behind the oval. Okay. So this, I love these. There's a name for this, not philodendron. There's a name for this big leaf. I love these. Now let me show you the B side. The B side has all these flamingos. I mean, those are colors I absolutely love, those corals. Then here's the, I know I just did a squirrel on you because I'm showing you the papers again, but this is the way I work. So here are the cars. which are just these cool retro woody cars. And then the other side, the B side, isn't that gorgeous? It looks like that mat, you know, those like tatami mats. Beautiful, beautiful neutral background on that one. So that's the B side. And then this beautiful hibiscus and plumerias. And then the B side has all these lovely pineapples, really subtle. I'm actually working on some scrapbooking layouts using these as well. I think these images are beautiful for scrapbooking. Not only your vacations, although a lot of us have vacations at Disney World, and this is the one I'm using today. And there's that background, or the kind of B side. Let's look at the fruit piece and see. Kind of fun tropical fruits. This actually reminds me of our trip to Thailand. This is the kind of fruits that we were eating in Thailand. And then there's the B side. So you get the B side on a couple of these is really similar. So, sorry, I know I just knocked you. This is one of my favorites. I love Birds of Paradise. They're a beautiful, beautiful flower. And then the B side is those palm trees. So that was one of the things we were using today. So, and then some of these have the brown mat behind them. So yeah, just a lot of different A's and B's in here. Not a bad piece in the lot. Okay, I need one of these right here. And I need another card base. And because I'm going to do both of these, and we'll see what we like the best. Let me grab a little more white. Might need to make another set of palm trees. Let's see how we get on here. Okay, that way we have a little bit more in choices. Oh, and then there's that one too. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, that's kind of nice too. Oh, okay. We're spoiled for choice here today. Okay, let's see. Concentrate, Candy. Okay, I'm going to go with this piece here. Another, we're going to do 2 cards, and maybe we'll vote on which one we like the best. And 2 of the same designer paper. We'll go with A side and B side. So the A side is typically this one that has the kind of the brighter images. And then the B side is considered the one that has the dull images. And I've already put that down, so obviously that is not going anywhere. Let's go ahead and put the ribbon down and see where we get. Ribbon here with a glue dot to go right there. And you'll find if you use this ribbon, it has a fair bit of give. I mean, this is linen ribbon, and reminds me, my husband's a very dapper dresser. When we're in the tropics, he has linen pants that he wears and has a linen suit. There we go. Aye, that's kind of crooked. Aye, aye, aye. Okay, let's try again. Let's pull that tight and bring it in. There we go. Okay. Ah, it's still not doing. I think I'm going to need to put, hey Virginia, I'm glad you're here. You can help us. We're kind of doing some virtual designing. So there is one way of doing this. So there's the back side of this paper. And then here is the front side of the same paper. So I think on this one, we're just going to stick it down straight. I think both of these we'll go ahead and put down. And do fairly simple. So look at those gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. I think they're just amazing. And then let's go ahead and put this piece down as well. I'm using just the the B side, but it's a very calm and very pretty kind of a pattern with Pool Party. But that pattern definitely gives you some interest. Okay, so now here we go. We've got our palm trees. So I can go palm tree here. I can go palm tree here. Now, let's see. And I know I did not put any ribbon behind there. I will say, I think that if we wanted to put some ribbon behind this piece, let me show you what I think we could do. I think we could actually just kind of leave it rough on the ends. And let's see what we think about that. Putting that there and not sticking it down, so we would have our ends kind of just loose. Not rough, but loose. Just kind of give a little bit of interest there. And I think I do want to put those down. Let's see, do I want to put these down here? Let's see. And where'd my little piece of, oh, and then we've got this one too. We could also go here. We could do more of these. I don't know, that might be too much. That might just be too much. Let's see, crystals here. Yay, I've got lots more designing eyes helping me here. We're coming up with various things. Let's see what we can come up with here on our, we had a little piece of soft suede. We could decide to put a little tassel on here or not. I do love the tassels. They really bring in some nice little pops of color. And I think, again, this is just reminiscent, to be honest, reminiscent of a hula skirt to me in some ways. So I don't know if I want to do any of that. Let me find my soft suede cardstock and see if we want to do a little greeting with this. Definitely think it would be good here. It might be too dark here. Let's see what we think. Well, you know what? Let's stamp our hello. And I'm just using soft suede ink here. Let's do a couple of these and see if they will punch out or if I need to make a little flag with them. I think the scripty font is a little bit too wide. Oh, no, it actually fits. It's a little tight, but it fits. Hey, Michelle, I miss you too. I miss you a lot. So the coral tassel is actually petal pink, and I have used them successfully with this paper, and I'll show you what I mean. Let me grab one of these cards and show you a petal pink tassel. Let's see. Here we go. So this is one of the cards I had designed where I put the petal pink tassel in. And it really picks up the petal pink background of that paper. So I think it just really, I love these colors. I love all these colors. So let's see. Here is my little, see if we want to do something like this. That's too much. Might try putting that color of oval behind the tree on the light blue. Okay, let's see. This is the pretty peacock oval. That definitely kind of gives it a little bit more presence, doesn't it? I think you're on the right track, Crystal. Now, I may need to flag this in the opposite direction, my little hello, or maybe I just need to put it down here. And let me show you another little trick. You can actually make this into a mini by putting that down in there. You have to be careful, but you can feed that through there. And then you can get that little, now I've made a little mini. So now there's my little hello. So I could do something like that, or like that, or like that. So tell me what you guys think about my placement. Let's do this one for now. Let's start here. We'll do this one first. I think that I'm ready to go ahead and put this down on here and pop this up on dimensionals. So let's pop that there. And I got some adhesive there that I didn't want, so let's put some dimensionals on the back of this guy. And we will see what we're thinking. How about at the base of the palm trees? That's a good call. Let's try that, Virginia. So I do like that oval. I think it gives the palm trees some real presence. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Do you guys think that's too dark? Should I try that in like crumb cake, or do we like that? I think it's kind of cool, just the way it is. What do we think? I think we're there. I'm seeing hearts. I'm seeing hearts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of these little, try to rotate the card base. Oh, you mean and go in the other direction? I've actually stuck this down now. Let me see if I can lift it. Ooh, will it lift? I only just stuck it down. And I will tell you, one of the reasons I thought I probably wasn't going to do this is because my flowers are kind of going in the opposite direction. So, hey, Mary Jane. What about on the pattern, like putting it right here? Let's see. Well, I kind of mucked up my dimensionals, but, you know, that's part of what you do. When you're making a card, that's just sometimes, you know, that's part of the design process. So I think that we will... So you said it looks good, but you didn't say which one, Crystal. You know, if you ever mess up your dimensionals, this is what you can do, is just put a little bit of Tombow liquid glue on there, and it will reactivate them. You like it rotated. Okay, so even with my flowers going downhill, you think that's okay? You think my flowers are okay going downhill? Maybe I can lift these. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look at there. This little baby is going to lift, and that is going to allow me to do that. Yeah, that's just one of those things. Those flowers upside down, that's going to bug me. So let's try here and here. Oh, bummer about the delay. Yeah, the delay is a little tricky, Crystal. So let's see. Because these flowers can go... They're fine because they're going sideways. They can look fine there, and I can do this, or I can do this. I think we're going to go with this. I think we're going to go with this, ladies and gentlemen. There, we are committed. We are now committed. But I think that everybody's really liking this, so let's put a couple of these little tiny mini dimensionals on here because I want this to pop up as well. And I'm actually going to put 3 on there to really secure it. And then I think that last but not least, we're going to have to bling this out a little bit. Let's see. Let's put this down like so. I think that was a really good call, Virginia, on putting the hello right at the base. I like that a lot. Now, the last little thing we're going to do is we are going to put some rhinestones on, and I think what I'm going to do, these have been on back order, but they are coming back, and they are in the new catalog. And you see how these champagne, you see how that's kind of almost just a golden color? That's going to end up picking up some of these yellows and oranges in here. So let's just see about a few little rhinestones. to bring a little bit of shine into what we're doing. So what do we think? What do we think? Are we good? Did we do good today? I think everybody did really well. I think our finished card is super. You know, this little pretty peacock oval was just something left over from another project, but then when I brought it in, it kind of went with all these colors. So that is what we have done on our Tuesday at 2 card for today. And I think it's a great community design effort, and I think it also perfectly showcases, you know, all of these beautiful, beautiful papers. And I think that when I'm off camera, I will probably come back. And for those of you who joined us late, you're going to want to go back and watch this. We were actually learning the thumping technique on our palm trees. And so we were able to, I'm going to have to bring in some darker cardstock here so this will show up. But it allows us to have all of these variegated greens on the palm tree. So make sure you go back and watch the thumping technique so you see the variegated greens. So that, oh, you know what? Let's just hang on. Before we're totally finished here, let's just hang on and see if maybe we want to add a tassel. You see how those tassels, I think they just give a really nice little finish. So, yes, Mary Jane, you're right. We used to do thumping many years ago, and it's one of those simple things that you can do. Let's just see this little bit of color. Do we like that little bit of color? What are we thinking? I'm kind of liking that. I'm kind of digging that. And I'm kind of liking that petal pink. Now here's the, that kind of brings that pretty peacock in. So I think we're going to do one of these. Tell me which one you guys like. Do we want the white? Really kind of brings in a little bit more of the white. Or do we like the petal pink? Yeah, I'm liking the petal pink too. It really picks up kind of the soft colors in this designer paper. Because I think that as much as I like that, there's already a lot of the pretty peacock. Now you're liking the pretty peacock. Okay, I need another vote. I've got one for the pink and one for the peacock. I need another vote, folks. Of course, we could get really extravagant and use both. Okay, there's another vote for the pink. So what I have found with attaching these is I need another dimensional here so that this is going to really secure my oval. That needs to really stick down. So what I have found the best way to secure these is with a mini glue dot, and they really hold secure. You just put it into that little gold ring. You just put it on there. And then, oh, somebody's giving me a lot of hearts, which makes my heart really happy. And then you just tuck it in like so. And then you just have that little bit of pizzazz. That is a nice handmade card, ladies and gentlemen. And you are part of that design process. So thank you so much for helping me put this together today. I think that we have had some great community design work here. And if I were going to go one more little thing, now maybe it's going to be too much. Let's see. Let's just see if we want to add a little bit of the other thing we were using today, or that I used on my class cards, was this stuff right here that I really like. Now this, you get these two together, and I think these are under $5 right now, both. You get both in a set. They're on sale right now because they're in the last chance list. And let's just see whether we want to add a little bow. You know me and my double bows with the twine. So let's just see if it's going to be too much or if it's just the perfect last little touch. So I need all of my designers to weigh in on this and tell me what you think. Do we like the bow, or is it a little bit too much We have a lot of accessories going here, but that's part of the fun. Thank you, Mary Jane. I'm glad you like the way I make my bows. So, do we want to add that bow right there? Do we think it's a little bit too much? Yes on the bow, no on the bow. Tell me what you think, what you really, really think. Okay, Mary Jane says she likes the bow. I don't think it's too much. I think it's kind of nice. Yeah. You know, it's interesting because you have so many different colors here, and we have managed to bring out, you know, the little nuances of all of these colors and really maximize our accessories. And I think this is part of, you know, if you're an avid stamper and you start collecting accessories, this is where they really come in. Now, Terry Lynn, you said no on the bow. Some other folks are saying yes on the bow. This is where all of your accessories really come in. I mean, to me, that's an over-the-top card with all of these elements. Now, I can take the bow off, and it's a little bit more trim, and maybe causes the tassel to shine a little bit more. This, I think, kind of puts it a little bit in the background. So, really, I think that's kind of a personal... And although I could put like Wink of Stella on here, I think that really I've got a nice, calm, tropical feel with a lot of texture. I've got some linen here. I've got some threads here. I've got a little shine here. I've got some variegation on my leaves. So that is it. I think I'm going to feature this card on my blog because, you know, I'm going to have to give you the PDF tutorial. So there'll be lots of accessories on this tutorial. And hopefully you remember how to do the thumping effect here. And also I showed you how to do the little mini tag that you can do with your classic label punch. So a couple little tutorial things here. And again, I will feature this on my blog. You'll see it on there tomorrow. With the PDF tutorial, you'll have the free PDF tutorial. It gives you all the measurements for everything on here. Thank you so much for tuning in here with me today. We had fun doing some virtual design work. Let me see if I can get my camera turned around in order to say goodbye to you real quick. I do like to actually, you know, we end up kind of relating to someone's hands, as it were, and it is nice to actually recognize that there is a person behind the hands. So just a quick goodbye. I do have this as a class right now, not the card we did today, but the cards I showed you at the beginning, and then earlier today I put the YouTube video on here with the cards, the 8 cards that we do in my Saturday Card Club. That has, tomorrow is the last day to register for that class. So I did want to just kind of bring that to your attention. And it's been a lot of fun here today with you guys. So I appreciate you joining me and not just being spectators, but really being a part of this design process is one of the things I really enjoy. This Tuesday at 2 really lights up my week. As I said earlier, I'm thinking about doing a second Facebook Live during the week, and I'd love to hear your input about whether you would like another afternoon or whether you'd like an evening. I don't do mornings. I don't do live TV in the mornings. I'm just telling you. I don't do mornings. So I definitely don't do live TV in the mornings. But I'm looking at doing either another afternoon or an evening. And I might just put a poll up here and let y'all vote. So let me know what you're thinking. And Michelle, yay, you're going to sign up for this is my Saturday card class. So the video's up there. But I will send you a link, Michelle. So thank you so much again for joining me. I will see you here next week at 2 for, Diane, you're already saying, yeah, that you want afternoons. I will see you here for live next Tuesday at 2, maybe before then. And it looks like afternoons, yay, afternoons better for me too. You know what, the farther we get into the evening, I have been a night owl my whole life, but I can tell you that now I'm in my 60s, and boy, by about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm like brain dead. I used to work till 1 in the morning, and I actually kind of got a second wind about 10 o'clock in the evening. And I could do some of my best work around midnight, and it's just not that way. I'm shocked. I didn't expect this to be part of my old age process, but you know, that's where it is. So we shall see. I'll definitely put a poll up and see what people think. And although people can watch the replay, there is something awfully fun about the live aspect of this, in particular when we're designing together. So that's super fun. But I will definitely be posting on here a little bit more, and so I'll be on here, but I won't be live on here probably until next Tuesday. So until then, be safe, stay healthy, take care. I'm over 60, Michelle, and God bless.